Mother and her boyfriend are facing multiple felony charges for allegedly imprisoning two children in their home for years. Katie Koch is the mother of the children. She's facing 4 felony counts and 2 misdemeanors connected to child neglect and false imprisonment. Joelle Mankey is facing 4 felony counts. According to the criminal complaint, another neighbor first saw the children looking through a shattered window last Thursday, July 13th, then climbed onto the air conditioning unit. They then jumped into the yard and walked down the street naked. A child witness said the children, 2 boys ages 7 and 9, were acting like cavemen, like they had never seen the sun before. In Milwaukee County Intake Court on Monday, the assistant district attorney described the living conditions like something out of a horror movie. Milwaukee County Assistant District Attorney Mallory Davis said the children were essentially confined to their room for much of their lives. The windows were boarded up and the door was locked from the outside. Responding officers described it as a terrible hoarding situation in which they could not see the floor. Many other disturbing details about the living conditions were given. In court on Monday, the court commissioner set a $30,000 cash bail for Koch. Mankey's cash bail was set at $6,500. Their preliminary hearings are set for July 26. If convicted on all felony counts, Koch and Mankey each face fines totaling $120,000 and 43.5 years in prison. Koch faces an additional $20,000 in fines and 18 months in prison for the 2 misdemeanor counts. Milwaukee police are investigating a triple shooting that took place Monday night. Officials say that 3 people were shot near 32nd and Forest Home Avenue just before 6:30 p.m. The victims include a 16-year-old boy, a 47-year-old man, and a 46-year-old woman. They were taken to an area hospital where all are expected to survive. Police continue to search for unknown suspects. Anyone with information is asked to contact Milwaukee Police at 414-935-7360. To remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 414-224-TIPS. This was the news update on 1017 The Truth. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next here on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together. They're all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits
I'm not a big Jay-Z fan.
If you kill people and they
Jay-Z, it's home.
let me live upstairs from you. Let them come in there.
It's all good though. I just felt like it would be a nice parallel between what you said though. Torture them with your success. Now all his competitors have to look at his exhibition at his library. Rest of their lives.
1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the common council president and the common council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I am your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to just get right in it because I'm going to have to do to you what somebody did to me years ago and just step in. I don't know why you thought somebody was going to come in and save you or do something for you or take care of you, for that matter. Somewhere in this world, we forgot that in order to get something done, we're going to have to do it ourselves. It's cute that we always talk about how nobody ever got anything done by themselves.
but everybody finished by themselves. I mean, think about it. 20 minutes a day can change your life over the next 20 years, but yet we waste our time on frivolous things, waiting for government, waiting for people, waiting for 2% tax, waiting for all these things to happen because we're too lazy to come up with an alternative. Everybody wants everything done. The problem is you're mediocre. And you can't win being mediocre. You got to wake up positive. You literally have to wake up. That means you got to get rid of your snooze. You got to get rid of just 5 more minutes. If you do everything when everybody else does it, you're losing. If you're trying to step up to mediocrity, you're losing. You're going to have to come up with a plan, and you're going to have to execute it each and every day. Let me give you an example. If you start work at 9 o'clock and you're not there at 7 o'clock, there's a problem. You have to be up, out, working, and ready by the time people get there. Otherwise, you're losing. Working your 9-to-5 job will never get you $1 million unless you make your way as the 1% to the C-suite, where you get paid somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000 a year. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. You can't just put money in your 401k or your 403b and hope the stock market does well over 30 years and think you're going to end up and make it. You can't just start a business and think you're going to make it. You can't just put your money in insurance and think you're going to make it. You have to break your negative thinking. You have to wake up positive, and you have to put in more than everybody else. Now, I'm not talking about just busy work, busy time, busy stuff, but you have to actually put it in. If you're going to be successful, you have to do the stuff that makes you look stupid, you look bad, you get talked about, you get called a nerd, you don't have any friends, no one comes around, everybody's out partying, watching Netflix and Hulu, instead of putting in an extra 30 minutes. If you really, 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 really want your life to change, you have to get it done. And I'm not talking about busy work, busy stuff, but actual constructive work. I keep hearing people talk about I want to be a millionaire, but they're not doing anything to make themselves a millionaire. They want to get it from everybody else. They want everybody else to show them the shortcut. Guess what? There is no shortcut. But then what happens when you win? What happens when you step out and you hit the ball every time? Well, that's when people hate you. That's when people retreat to this. You should be kind. You should be gentle. You should be nice. You should be humble. Humbleness never got you rich. Humbleness never gave you wealth. You know what did? Hard work. That means you have to step up, step in, and get it done. But for some reason, I see political figures, corporate leaders, community leaders, everybody wants to phone it in, and nobody wants to get it done. Finally, for those of you who want to be successful, you have to go above and beyond. If you want to be successful, you have to be the person that eventually will become most hated. Because in the end, that's what's going to happen. That means you're going to lose friends. That means you're not going to have people hanging out with you because they like you. They probably want something. But then people always ask me, well, you've been successful and you did this and you did that. Well, how did you do it? Well, if you can work 12 hours a day at night, get off, study every morning, sleep, wake up and pick your kids up from school, go to softball practice and rugby practice, go to all the games, then get a few hours sleep so you can go back to work. And in between that, go to class on Tuesday and Thursday from 4 till 10, twice a week, year round. Sacrifice. That's what it takes. You think it's an accident? Blessings come to people who are prepared, not people who hope. You have to work. You have to put the work in. I'm blessed by the fact that I won an award that most people have worked their entire life and have never won. But you have to be there and you have to put in the work. Just showing up average will never get it. And going back to the success thing, when people start telling you when you're successful, you should be kind and you should be humble. Sure, you should. When you talk about it, because we know that God blessed you, just like he blessed me, to be able to do something and win. That's a blessing. But if you're doing what you're called to do, it's successful. But I have a suggestion. For those of you that hate people that are successful, that don't like people who are ahead of you, who have what you don't have, but you want it, but you're not humble enough to ask how they did it, and they'll gladly tell you. But instead of complaining, ask. Because my solution was simple. Somebody taught me something a long time ago that I never quite understood until I was successful. I was always told and brought up by my grandmother who went to church and joining church. I was always taught to be nice, be kind. But there's another side of that coin. And it's not the opposite where you're mean and unjust. The one thing I learned, my takeaway in regards to other people who hate, instead of killing them with kindness, torture them with success.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
On Thursday, July 27th, we invite all of Truth Nation to join us at the Broken Bat Brewery located in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward for a fundraiser to support the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Breast Cancer Care and Research Fund.